Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Always nice to have you here. If you could hit the subscribe button if you're new, that would be great. So like the video. Any support you can give is always appreciated. And if you've already subscribed, welcome back. Always good to have you here. So I wanted to talk a bit about, in general, Sky Sports and the new era that they've kicked off with. But also the boxer tournament that occurred at the weekend and was on Sky Boxing. Everything at the weekend was overshadowed by the Canelo-Caleb Plant fight, the big unification, undisputed fight. But there was a lot of other good boxing on at the weekend that you may have overlooked. Michaela Mayer and Maeva Hamadouche put on a fantastic women's fight. Really, really good. If you haven't seen it, go and see it on YouTube. I did a video about it. Check that out as well. We also had a good win for Zach Parker over Marcus Morrison. He stopped him in 4. That was on BT. There was another women's fight. Hannah Rankin. She beat a Swedish girl to win a couple of world titles. It was the WBO and was it the IBF women's light middleweight titles, I think it was. That was a good fight as well. But the big event that was overlooked, which was a real shame because it was a fantastic tournament, was the boxer tournament, the 8-man knockout tournament. Very, very reminiscent of Prize Fighter. If you go back 10 years, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, when they first came to Sky, they would have regular Prize Fighter 8-men tournaments. I'm sure a lot of you remember them. A lot of money on the line. And because it's 3-minute rounds, a lot of action within those 9 minutes. You've got to get your skates on. You've got to do what you've got to do very quickly. There can't be any... There wasn't a lot of boxing, but there was a hell of a lot of slugging. You know what I mean? And that's real entertainment. That's what people want. The format is very, very good. Boxing is, after all, entertainment. And you can get 2 low-level guys who, if they're evenly matched, can put on a really, really good show. I made a video earlier today about the Jake Paul, Tommy Fury thing, asking, how the hell is it on pay-per-view? I don't understand it. I'm not the demographic. But you never know. Maybe they'll put on a good fight. You just don't know, two ranked novices, it might be a great fight. I'm not sure whether it should be on pay-per-view, but you know what I mean. So the boxer tournament, it was very, very entertaining. It was won by Corey Gibbs, who defeated Tom Farrell in the final. Every single fight went the distance. I think there was only one knockdown, which was suffered by Levi Kinciona against Farrell, I think it was. He got counted when Farrell was on the ropes. But every fight in every round was, whether it was the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final itself, they were all good little scraps. And boxing is entertainment. Also, I like the format because, in the case of Tom Farrell and Lee Appleyard was another one. These are guys trying to resurrect their careers, which is really great. So it gives them a platform to do that. Also, you had a couple of fighters, I'm thinking of Ben Fields, who were small hall fighters. I don't know how much they'd ever made in the past. It ain't going to be much. Ben Fields, I think, was 10 wins and 10 defeats, and but I don't think he'd ever had a platform like this. And he got defeated on points in the quarterfinal of the tournament, but walked home with $5,000, which is, for three rounds, ain't a bad little payday. And he was on Sky Sports. He was on Sky Boxing. He had a good platform, and maybe he'll get some work off the back of that. The winner, Gibbs, took home $40,000, which you can't argue with. I'm not sure, was it 20 or 30 that Farrell got? I can't remember, the losing finalist. But I like this tournament because A, it's exciting, and boxing is entertainment, as I keep saying. But also, you've got a good backstory. The presentation by Sky was excellent, as you would expect. And I think when Matchroom left Sky, there was a lot of talk or a lot of scepticism about how well they do. They were like, the jilted lover. Eddie had gone off to DAZN, and then you had poor Adam Smith, who was left in the lurch. But I get the impression with Adam Smith, although people make fun of him, he's like boxing's Mr. Bean or whatever, he's kind of like that kid that sat at the back of the class and people would, you know, take the piss out of and throw a bit of food at, who grew up to be, you know, an executive, when all the kids that were taking the mick out of him are probably working in, you know, for fast food chains or whatever. He kind of came good. He was the geek or the dork that ended up top of the tree. And I think when Eddie and Matchroom left Sky, it was a conundrum for Adam Smith and for Sky. And what they've done is they thought, okay, we'll take some new talent in the case of in the example of Ben Shalom and Boxer. Ben Shalom is the head of Boxer, Boxxer. We'll go back to our roots. We'll go back to what initially made us successful, which was, you know, the prize fighter tournament and the box tournament are basically the same thing. And we'll mix in that new talent, because Ben Shalom, I think, is only 27. We'll mix in all the new stuff with some established, you know, giant promotional companies. In this case, Top Rank, because they've done a deal with Top Rank. So I think Sky Sports, particularly with all their great production values, are coming out smelling of roses, which is kind of surprising. Because when Eddie and Matchroom went to DAZN, everyone was thinking, oh, you know, DAZN's going to flourish and Sky will take a big dip. I'm impressed with what Sky have done so far. And I think that, you know, it is a great platform for building fighters, for building young fighters. There was a fantastic win by, was it Savannah Marshall recently, who I think is the best female fighter in the world at any weight. Just very, very impressive. You know, I think they've come out flying, Sky. And okay, the DAZN now have to answer with the defeat of AJ. That's an interesting sort of cross-pollination there, because AJ has signed virtually the rest of his career to Matchroom as a promotional outlet, but he's also potentially going to stick with Sky as a platform. That's very interesting. See how that unfolds. But what do you think? Did you watch the Boxer tournament? Did you like it? I loved it. I thought it was fantastic entertainment. And all the boxers, all 8 of the boxers gave their all. There were no quitters there. Wish them all well. What did you think of the tournament? What do you think of Sky? What do you think of it compared to DAZN? I think we were all sort of trying to weigh it up, and it was going to be an interesting little face-off between those two promotional companies. Do you think Adam Smith, the jilted lover, is gradually getting his own back on Eddie, who's, you know, walked off into the sunset, supposedly to pastures new? But is the grass greener on the other side? Not always. So let me know what you think. And yeah, leave your comments. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you could. I'd really appreciate that. Hit the like button. You enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, much love to you.